Yes guys, today we are going to see that how to do the point-in-time restores and the TailLog backups. What is the purpose of TailLog backup? All that we will see one by one. So last session we saw that guys, so theoretically we understand the point-in-time restores. Let me go back to the previous class and we'll understand what is that a point-in-time restores. So now here in the last session we saw that point-in-time restores. Why we are doing point-in-time restores guys? First suppose I want to restore the database as of on 8:15 AM. I have the backup as of on 8:30 AM transaction log backup is there, but that we have taken that log backup at 8:30 AM. But I want to restore the database as of on 8:15 AM. Then we are going to do point-in-time restore. While restoring this 8:30 AM, we have to specify that time 8:15. We have to specify the time 8:15 because this 8:30 AM transaction log backup contain changes from 7 AM to 8:30 AM. So I want, when I am going to restore this 8:30 AM log backup, we have to restore up to the time 8:15 only. After 8:15, whatever transactions are recorded in this transaction log backup, I don't want process those statements. That means up to 8:15 AM only I want to restore, I want to recover the database, I want to reprocess the changes, statements. That's why we are using point-in-time restore. So that means it's very simple guys. When we are restoring transaction log backups, we are going to specify the time. Because this is a transaction log backup I know. So previous log backup I have taken at 4 PM and 6 PM we have taken one transaction log backup. When I am going to restore this 6 PM transaction log backup, I can specify the time 4:10 PM. I can specify the time 4:20 PM, 4:30, 4:45, 5, 5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30, 5:40, 5:45. Any time we can put, because this is a 6 PM transaction log backup, we have the changes from 4 PM to 6 PM. So we can put any one of that time. We have to put date also, date and time both. We have to specify. Okay guys, so this is what point-in-time restore, and we are going to do that practice now. How to do this point-in-time restores. So now here let me open our class notes. Point-in-time restores. There is a okay guys, I think I have your file. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. So here we have this point-in-time restore. I have this practice guys. Let's see this point-in-time restore. I am going to open that point-in-time restore, and here you see that. So we are going to take backup of our database first. So take the full backup. This is point-in-time restore practice guys. Okay. So let's take a full backup of this database. Any database you can pick. So I am going to take a backup of. I'm going to take the backup of this Crystal Spiders Institute. Which database guys we used? 7 AM. So let me take. You can drag and drop like this guys. You don't need to type that database name all the time. And here I am going to take backup of this database. Okay. Take this database backup and let me put this backup into the path. Over here. And now here I will put some name, and this is a full backup underscore. Today date is 2021/7/26 and time is 10:35 AM back. Okay, so I am taking this a full backup guys. What is that? What it is saying that operating system error. That means there is no this path D drive DB files DB backups. So that path is not there guys. Let me get that path. D drive DB files DB space backups. DB space backups are there. I am going to delete. I am going to remove all these backups guys. Anyway, I don't need all these backups. I am going to delete. Shift to delete. I don't need these backups. And these three also not required. I am going to say shift to backup. And this is the path I am going to use to take this full backup. We are going to practicing this one guys. Okay, this is the full backup. Let's take this a full backup now. So now we have taken the full backup. After this full backup, right? So what is the time we have taken at 10:36? At 10:36 we have taken this full backup. Let's make a note of that time. This is very important. At 10:36 AM we have taken this full backup. That means up to this 1036, up to this 1036 00 seconds, whatever changes are done, that changes are there, whatever data is there as of on 1036 AM, all the changes are there in that database. Okay. I am not sure, I don't know, only this time every day in this class only we are having the issues, but earlier class no issues at all. I don't know guys, so let me know if you are still having the issue. I don't know. So far we have morning 6 to we are having multiple classes, but no issues with that classes, but something went wrong at this time particularly. I don't know. I have the good internet speed. Okay, so now I am going to connect into the database Crystal Spider 7 AM database, 71 AM 1 database, and we will see that we are going to do some changes. So at what time? At 10:36 AM we have the as of on 10:36 AM we have taken the full backup. After this 10:36, at 10:37, now the time is 10:37 some seconds. At the time I am going to create this table. So let's create this table, and now here at 10:36, at 10:37, at 10:37 some seconds now. So what I can say, from 10:36, from 10:36 59 seconds to I will say like this guys, by 10:38, by 10:38 00 seconds AM we have done this change. This change is done. So we have to make the note of these guys, because to test this point in time restores we need these things. Okay, at 10:38, by 10:38 we done this change. By 10:38, before 10:38 we done this change. This change is recorded by 10:38 AM. By 10:38, not at 10:30, not at, I am not saying at 10:38. Before 10:38 we done this change. After 10:36, before 10:38, before 10:38 we already done this change before 10:38. Okay, so let me pass this 10:39 also. So now here I will do this change. I will do this change after 10:38 and before 10:39. Okay, after 10:39. You see this now? This is the time is 10:39 right now. So what I am going to do that I am going to do this change before 10:40. Before 10:40 I will finish this change guys. Maybe 10:39 some seconds. Okay, no problem. So now the time is 10:39 some seconds. I am going to do this change before 10:40. I did this change guys. Before 10:40 I did this change. Still now 10:39 some seconds, right? Some seconds going on. See here, it is 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 seconds. So at around 35 seconds, 10:40, 35 seconds I done this change. Okay, that's fine. But before 10:40 I done this change. But at the time 10:40 we have this change in the database. By the time 10:40 we have this change in the database. Okay. Now at 10:42, before 10:42 I will do this change. Exactly at 10:41 some more seconds I will do this change. So I will say this is before 10:42 00 AM I will do this change. Let's wait for one more minute guys. Yeah, we have to test like this, because after this full backup now I am going to take transaction log backup. So that means from this 10:36:01 seconds onwards, from 10:36:01 seconds onwards up to this time, how long you are going to wait? Up to that time we will be having, up to that time we will be having those changes into my transaction log backup. When I am going to restore this transaction log backup, I will specify these timings. Restore up to 10:38. When I say restore up to 10:38, I will see this table with the empty, no records, and I will next I will say restore this same log file with the time 10:40. Then I will see only this record. I will say that restore transaction log backup by specifying this time 10:42 AM. Then I will see these changes, all these changes. So now here depends on the time, right? I am going to say that as of on this time restore everything. By before 10:42 we done all these changes, guys. Before 10:42 I am going to restore this log backup saying that restore up to 10:42. So now let's execute this one. Now the time is 10:41 from some seconds. Let's execute this one also. So now I done this change also. So now still it is 10:41 some seconds. 10:41 some seconds. By this 10:42 I done all these changes. You see this, guys. By this 10:42 we done all these changes, guys. By this 10:40 we done these two changes. By 10:38 we done this change. After full backup I am talking. After full backup by 10:38 only one transaction is done. That is what create table. After full backup by 10:40 we have two transactions. One is a create table, another one is insert. After full backup by 10:42 we have three transactions: create table, inserting Smith record, inserting Greg record. Three transactions. Okay. So now again let's do some more practice. This is what the practice, guys. You have to invest some time to practice all this. And now I am going to say that mic, and I will wait till 10:45. At 10:44 some seconds I will do this change. Please wait. Now the time is 10:42 some seconds are going on. 10:42 some seconds are going on. Please wait. Let it pass 10:43, and at 10:43 some seconds I will do this change. By 10:44 I will do this change. I don't want to wait 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Let's wait it up till 10:43 also passed. Wait guys, wait until 10:43 is also passed. So this is the time frame. From this time to this time, any changes that happen, those changes will be there in my transaction log backup. That's what my intention to take this to perform these changes with the timings, because we have to test it now. And which time you've done that change. I will say this change will go and happen at 10:47. Yes, guys, we have to wait. Yeah, we have to wait and we have to test it like this. Okay, at 10:50, up to 10:50 I will wait. So now the time is 10:43 some seconds. Now 10:44. Yes, 10:44. Now the 10:44, 01 seconds, 02 seconds, 03. So let's insert this record, mic. So now the ID is 12, and I will insert this record at 10:44 some seconds. So that means before 10:45 only we did this change, guys. That means by 10:45 we did all these changes. After full backup we did 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions. Okay. So let's wait. 10:45, 10:46. At 10:46, after 10:46 and before 10:47 I will do this change. Maybe at 10:45 some seconds I will do this change. So here the date represents by this time, by 10:47 I want to perform all this. I already did all these changes. Now I am going to do this change before 10:47. After 10:45, before 10:47 I will do this change. Anytime after 10:45, before 10:47 I want to do this change. Because based on this time frame, based on these timings, I am going to restore the transactions. Yeah, let's wait. This is good practice, guys. We have to practice like this only. We have to practice like this, and we have to test it, the things, each and everything in and out. Yeah, now the time is 10:45. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Let's wait for until it becomes 10:46. At around 10:46, 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I will do this change. Wait at 20, 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2. Okay, 10:45 some seconds now. So let's pause 10:46 now. So let's take this change. Let's process this change at 10:46 some seconds. So now by 10:47, by this time we done all these transactions by 10:47. Okay, let's wait for 10:47, 48. Okay, let me say 10:49. Why should I just say 3 minutes? So before 10:49, I will process this change. 14, employee ID is 14 and name is John. I will do this change by 10:49. Let's wait for a couple of minutes and do this change. I want you to do this the same way, then only we can test it. This is a point-in-time restores. Because while restoring, I will use the standby mode. That's why I can verify the data also. After restoration of every time, I will verify this data, whether which records are restored or not. First what I can do, I will restore this full backup. I will restore this full backup. While restoration of this full backup, I will use a standby mode, so that I can verify what is there after this full backup. I may not see this table because after taking full backup, I have created this table. So this table will not appear in this backup file after restore this backup file. So what I can do next, I will restore the transaction log file by specifying this time. When I specify this time, I can see only this table with empty. I may not see these records. Okay, so now the time is 10:47, 32 seconds, 33 seconds, 34 seconds, 36 seconds, 37 seconds. Wait for that. Guys, and one more thing, there will be sometimes surprise for us with these timings, because we processed this data, we inserted this data. Now by 10:49 I executed this statement. Okay, by 10:49. So the thing is, when we process these transactions, these timings may not be the reliable, but 90% it will be reliable, and sometimes it depends on the checkpoint. So if the checkpoint is occurring at exactly at the same time, then it will be okay. But sometimes, even though if I say 10:40 AM, we will see this data also sometimes. But it should not be that case. But we'll test it. Okay. We saw that some wild behavior in earlier case. Okay, now I am going to take backup of this database, transaction log backup. Okay, I am going to take this transaction log backup to the same path. Let's take at what time we are taking. We are taking at let's say 10:50. By 10:50, I would like to take this backup. Yeah, let's wait. Let's pause that at 10:50 also, because I'm much more confident. So my transaction log backup will have the data up to 10:50, because we have to wait for 10:50, and then you can take this backup. Then I can confidently say that whatever data is processed by 10:50, everything is there inside this transaction log backup file from full backup. Before full backup, whatever is there before full backup, maybe it may have this log backup, but I am sure after full backup, whatever transactions are processed, all those transactions are there inside my log backup. So let me change these timings. 10, 20, 21, 7, 26 underscore log 1. Okay, so now the time is at 10:50 some seconds. So I am going to take this backup. So my, what is this? Yeah, database name is wrong. We have to specify this as same database. Okay, so this log backup will contain all changes from which time to which time, guys? From 10:36:01 seconds to up to 10:50. So total 14 minutes duration. Within this 14 minutes duration, whatever changes we done, all these changes are there inside my transaction log backup. So now I am going to do this start restoration of these backups. Restore full backup with a standby mode. So I want to verify after restoration of full backup, I want to verify the data. That's why we are using standby. You see that standby. So restore the full backup with the standby. Right click on the database, restore the database, and now you can specify standby. Click on a device, click on this and add button. Here we have that data that is there in a D drive, DB files, DB backups, and this is what the full backup. Select that full backup and now we are going to specify, go to the files, go to the options, override, remove this TimeLock Backup. We'll see this TimeLock Backup later. Close the existing connections and restore with the standby. Don't forget guys, if you forget this, then we can't restore transaction log backups again. So now select this restore with standby and say OK. So now database restore is successful. Okay. So now see that we restore that database. It is in the middle of restore now. We can verify what is there in this database. By checking out this data, we can verify what is there in this database. So now here let me connect to master database. Okay. So now here now I am going to checking out in this database is that table is there, because we created this table after taking this full backup. So definitely this table will be not there in this database, because just now we restored full backup. I am not able to see T11. Where is that T11 table? It's not there. See now guys, I am going to do PointInTimeRestore. So my manager is asking me, please restore the database as of on 10:38 AM. So at the time 10:36, I have this data. We restored this full backup. But next 2 minutes transactions I want. How do you restore? By using this log backup. This log backup is having all changes from 10:36 to, or else before 10:36 also, because this is full backup now. So I have this transaction log backup statements up to 10:50. So now from 10:36 to 10:38, there is only one transaction is there. I want to restore this transaction. So now we are going to restore transaction log file by using this PointInTimeRestore. How do you do this? Guys, how do you do the PointInTimeRestore? This is very important. Right click on that database. Don't right click and say restore here. Don't do that. We have to restore from here. From here, right click on the database, go to the task and restore transaction log. That's what here I mentioned. So now the same steps. Right click on that database, task, restore transaction log, and click from device. Same nodes guys, whatever I am doing here, same nodes. Click from device and select that path. So this is what where is that path guys? In the D drive, DB files, DB backups, and this is the log backup. So select that log backup and say OK. So now here guys, here we have the option. This is what PointInTime. Most recent possible means all transactions. Whatever transactions are there in this transaction log file, restore all the transactions. Restore all the transactions. That is the meaning of most recent possible. So we have to remove this most recent possible, and we have to specify that time. So this transaction log backup is containing the timings from 10:36 to 10:50. So this transaction log backup contains all changes from 10:36 to 10:50. So now I am going to specify. I am going to specify the time, the specific date and time. This is the date 2021 7/26 10:38. Up to 10:38, whatever changes we have inside this log backup, we have to process all those changes up to 10:38 only. After 10:38, if you done any changes, those changes will not process. This is called PointInTimeRestore. See that the window is showing the PointInTimeRestore. So now we specify this time while restoring this transaction log backup, and this is what we are going to say PointInTimeRestore. And options, again I want to restore same transaction log backup again and again by using different timings. That's why I am going to say restore with the standby, because I want to verify after restoration of this log backup up to 10:38 PM up to 10:38 AM, I want to check the database. Let's say OK. So it is saying that database is restored successfully, and let's go back to refresh this databases folder. Let's go to the database and check it out. We may see that table now. Yes, I can able to see the table. I can see the table because I restored this log backup, but I said only up to 10:38 only. That means we should see this table but not this data, because this data is processed at after 10:38. So this data will not be there inside this table. Let's check out the data. It's empty table. It's empty. Now you see this is how we are going to restore. Okay. So now let's do the same thing again one more time, guys. And I am going to do this now. Again I am going to restore same transaction log backup, and this time I will say 10:42. If I say 10:42, I should see these two transactions also, these two transactions also, and after that I will say only 10:45, then I can see only this record. After that I will say only 10:47, I will see only this record. After that I will see only 10:49, I will see this record. So like this guys, we can specify that time up to what time you want to restore. So now right click on the database and go to the task and go to the restore and transaction log and specify the time again. So it is so now we have to say from device, select that part. Is all everything is same, only thing is we are selecting the time. But this is only applicable for transaction log backups, not for full, not for differential backups. Okay. DB files, DB backups and log backup and say okay. And again PointInTimeRestore, this time I will say 10, what time we can give it? 10:42. If I say 10:42, these two records will appear. Select this second option, 10:42:00. 10:42:00, because by this time if any transactions are there, apply all those transactions. Already this transaction is already applied guys, it will not reapply this same transaction. Already we have applied up to 10:38. So from 10:38:01 seconds to 10:42:00 seconds, whatever changes are done, all those changes will apply now. See now. And go to the options again. I am going to select that restore with the standby because I want to check the database, and also I want to restore further frequent restores are there using the same transaction log backup file. That's why I selected third option, restore with the standby, and say okay. So yes, say that yes. Maybe it will fail guys because I am already connected in that database. That may be the reason. Sometimes it will fail guys because if anybody is already connected to that database, it will fail. And I am going to show you how to check who is, it is saying already somebody is accessing that database. That's why it is having this issue. So let's see that how do we check it out, who is connected to that database and how do we check. So now here SP_who2 guys. So this is very short way, and this is all will come as part of monitoring class guys. And SP_who2 is the command, and this command will help to specify who is connected to that database. Crystal Spiders 07. See now, this guy is connected 52. This is a session ID. This is SPID 52 is showing he is connected. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. So now I am going to say that kill 52. So that session, that guy is connected. So this is very important guys. So now kill 52. So now you can say say okay now. So now it is started. See that it is done because somebody is already connected. That's why we are unable to do restore. I will share these two commands guys in case if we have issues. So now let's go to the database and check it out. Go to the tables and check the table T11 and see the data in that table. Yes, we got 2 records. See that guys. What about other records? Other records are not processed by 10:40. That's why we are not seeing these records. Now I am going to specify 10:45. Let's go ahead and I am going to specify that 10:45 guys. So what I can do, I will select that. So let me change this connection string guys, because this window is connected to our database Crystal Spiders 701 database. I am connecting to master so that it will not have any problem while restoration of the other table. Okay guys. Okay, so now I am going to restore same backup, transaction log backup again. Again check it out guys, if anybody is connected to that database SP_who2. Check it out, in this DB name, that database name is appearing anywhere. Yeah, it is appearing here 55. The session ID 55 is connected, then kill that 55. Yeah, we have to kill it guys, otherwise we can't restore. That's the problem. So now right click and go to task, right click on the database, go to the task and restore transaction log from device, add button and go to the D drive and DB files, DB backups, transaction log backup, and this time what I am going to select, I am going to select the time 10:47. If I select 10:47, then we will see these two transaction changes, because we already restored transactions up to 1042, and now this time we are going to see these two. So finally, okay, I don't want this one, I want to restore up to 1045, and I want to say that's fine. So my manager is asking me up to 1045, that is enough, don't restore these two transactions, I don't want. Up to 1045 you can go ahead and restore and recover the database. So now I am going to do that. I am going to select 1045. Give minimum one minute gap, guys. Okay. So 1045 and the 00. So 1045 AM 00, and finally I am going to say recovering the database, guys. I am going to recover the database. So after that I don't want to restore anymore, and recover the database. First option, restore with the recovery, and say okay. Again looks like there are some connection issues. Yeah, again somebody is connected to this database. Let me see. 55, still it is not killed, guys. 55. Yeah. Now I killed that 55. That's why it is able to restore. So now this is saying successfully restored. Okay. So now see, my database is back normal, and I can able to see in a T11 I will see the changes up to 1045. Up to 1045, whatever data we inserted, only we will see that data. Let's check it out, this data, guys. See that up to 12 mic only, because up to 12 mic only we have restored, we have processed the changes. That's it. This is what point in time restores. Okay, so now let me save this one also. So this is what, guys, we have. This is a point in time restores. So now we have TimeLock backups. There is a concept called TimeLock Backup, and the TimeLock backups are important. And let me do one thing. Let me show you some more about this point in time restores. So this is what, guys, I have the snapshot for this, and it should be selected, guys. It should be selected here. It should be selected. First option, it should be selected. Sometimes this checkbox may not be selected. We have to make sure to select this one, and then specific the date and time, and then select this one, and then this one, which is very important. Okay, this is fine. And I have the practice here. I am going to ask you to practice something like this. Same thing, guys. Same thing. Bring the database from the restoring state to online state. How do you bring? This is the command to restore the database from the restoring state to online state, recovery state. So okay, let me do one more thing, guys. So now by using same full backup and transaction log backup, I am going to restore the data as of on 10:45 AM. Okay, I am going to do that. Let me do that again. I am going to restore full backup first on that 7 AM database. Just give me a minute. I am going to do that now. Then a D drive, DB files, DB backups, and full backup. I am going to restore this full backup. Okay, and I am going to say replace this full backup, remove this TimeLock backup, restore with the no recovery. I don't want to verify the data after this full backup. So I said no recovery, second option. So now we restore the full backup now. On top of that, what I am going to do that, I am going to restore transaction log backup by saying 10:45 AM from device. And I will not recover, guys. I will say no recovery only. From that no recovery, how do you get it back from the recovery? That's what I am going to show that. This is a transaction log backup. And I am going to specify, see that this should be select, guys. It should be selected. Sometimes it may not selected, and it will be the problem. We have to select that box. Okay, and click this ellipse button and the specific time at 10:45. I am going to say 10:45 00 AM and say okay. That's it. Up to this date and time, I am going to restore the backup. So now I am going to restore the backup. I selected restore with no recovery option. Okay, say okay. So now I don't want to restore any more further backups. I have done everything. I want to see my database is restoring only, because by mistake I selected second option. I have to select first option, but by mistake I selected second option. So how do we overcome here? So how do we do this now? Now I want to bring this database to online. How do we do this? That is where we have this option, restore with the no recovery. So restore that database with the recovery. If you execute this query, it is taking the time, it is connecting. Okay. See now here we have to specify that database name here. So still it is in restoring state. I don't want to restore further. There are no any backups to restore. I want to recover this database. How do you recover? This is the command. Restore database name with the recovery. We have to say like this, guys. Don't specify 2 times brackets with the recovery. So if we execute this one, we are going to bring the database from restoring state to online state. Okay, it is right now in the restoring. So execute this one. So now it will take some time, guys. When you are going to recover the database, it depends on the number of uncommitted transactions in the log file inside this database. Depends on that, it will take time. Sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours also in the real-time projects. Okay, so now let's go to that database table T11, and we have restored this database. No, you can't skip in the middle. No. That is not possible. You have to say up until this time. That's it. I mean that features are not there in MS database. No. LSN mismatch will come. We can't do that. We have to restore everything up to some point from full to up to this time. We have to restore everything. We can't skip anything in the middle because LSN's mismatch. Because you see that in the last time we are trying to restore multiple transaction log backups. If you miss one of the transaction log backup, the next log backup we can't restore. Why? Because you are missing some data in the sequence. Okay, so that's the reason we can't skip any data. We have to. So now here, so this is some homework. I want you to do this the same thing. Okay. So now here, wait for the current time. Wait for 2 minutes. Create a sample table. Insert some sample data. Take the full backup and record that current time. And wait for 2 more minutes. And insert some sample data and record the current time. And take the differential backup and record the current time. And wait for 2 minutes. So this is some homework, guys. I am going to ask you to perform this homework and take that TimeLock Backup and then do this wait and then do this TimeLock Backup. Now let's start restoring of the backups. So restore the full backup with either standby or no recovery. Restore differential backup with either standby or no recovery. Restore log backup with the standby and specify the point in time restore 9:59 and check the data. At 9:59 means this one, and you should see all these transactions. These are 2 transactions you should see. And then after same transaction log backup one with standby and specify the point in time store 10:05. 10:05 means, so this is all you will get. These are transactions you will see, because at 10:05 whatever transactions are done, those transactions will be processed. So similar way I am asking these guys, I want you to do this, then only you will get some feel for some kind of real-time practice. Okay, so this is what point-in-time restores. So now we have the next one, TailLog Backup. So TimeLock Backup is the last backup we are going to take that from that database, because let's assume sometimes we can't take normal backups from the database. Why? We can't take normal transaction log backups from the database. Why? Because you see that when we are taking transaction log backups, what is happening? When we are going to take a transaction log backups, what is happening? So now let's go back to understand the transaction log backups. We have written that notes, backups and their contents. This is different. And the backup strategies, choose the right backup file and the DB backups. See this, guys. When we are taking transaction log backup, what is happening? First checkpoint is happening, and then it will copy all the transaction records, and then it is removing all committed transactions. Okay. So before removing all committed transaction statements, it is applying checkpoint. Why checkpoint is applying? Because it will make sure all committed ones should be flushed to the database. Okay, that's what transaction log backup is happening. For suppose I have a database. Just 1 minute. So let's assume I have the database. This is my database. Okay. When we are taking transaction log backup, right? So this is a transaction log backup. When we are taking transaction log backup, it will go to this transaction log backup files. If you have more than one file, it will go to all the files, and then it will take the backup from those transaction log files. Right? So now here, so here the problem is sometimes we will see these issues, guys. Not sometimes, very rare we will see these issues. Let's say this is my D drive. Okay, this is my D drive. Okay, guys. So now the problem is, so this file got corrupted. This data file, MDF file got corrupted. This MDF file or NDF, whatever it is, this file got corrupted, and we are going to repair, guys. When the files got corrupted and something is got corrupted, we can repair that. But even though if repairs are not unable to do this, we will see some kind of things. But right now we assume like this. So this is the database. Some of the files got corrupted from this database. So we can't do any of the actions. We are unable to store the data, we are unable to read the data. So now the time is 10 AM. Now the time is 10 AM. Okay, I have the backups as of on. So at 10 AM this file got corrupted. At 10 AM this file got corrupted. This file got corrupted at 10 AM. Just assume. See, let me put my problem here. At 10 AM it got corrupted. Okay, even not that 10 AM. Let me put that clear requirements like this. Okay, let me take that notes from my previous process. Here it is. See this, guys. See this TimeLock Backup. See that here. So this is my database, right? In this database I have 3 files. One is MDF, NDF file, one more log file. And here the problem is this file got corrupted. The file on the D drive, that file got corrupted. So users, they can't able to perform any actions on this table. Which table is using that file? Users are unable to do any of those actions on that file. So I want recover. So they can't wait, right, until I recover this database files and all. So I can't do any kind of repairs and rebuilds and all. So finally I decided I have the backups as of on 1 hour back, and I am going to take all the transaction log backup from this database, and I want to restore the database as a separate database. So users can't read and perform operations against that file. So which tables are using this file? Which tables are storing their data in this file? Those tables can't perform any actions. It means the tables which are using that file get affected. This table, guys, this is the second table. See, this table will get affected. So this is the second table will get affected by this operation, because this when D drive is got corrupted, that D drive, the file on the D drive got corrupted, and only this file, this table is storing the data inside that file on the D drive. So that's why only this table, whichever tables are using this file, so all those tables get corrupt. I mean, users can't access their tables data. So it means we can't write or read the data against those tables. That means you can't insert the data, and we can't see what data is in those tables. And database not allowed to take full and differential backups. And when the file got corrupted, in case if D drive, this file is got corrupted, you can't take full backups, as well as we can't take differential backups also. But in this case, log backups are no issue. So we can take log backups, right? So in case of LDF file got corrupted, then the whole database will not allow the users to run any transactions against it. So now see here, guys, the problem is when a particular data file got corrupted, only the tables which are using that data file, that tables only get affected. But what about sir, C drive, we have one MDF file and there is one table. This table is using that MDF file. So these tables will not, there is no problem for these tables. These customers can access the data from these tables because those tables are storing their data in a different files. So those files are working fine. So those tables will work fine, absolutely fine, no problem at all. And in the similar way, for suppose this log file got corrupted, then when the log file got corrupted, the first activity is first step is, if you are going to insert or update or delete the data, first it has to record in a transaction log file. But the transaction log file got corrupted. We can't perform any write operations, inserts and deletes and updates. We can't do those operations on any table. We can't do that, guys. Okay, that's the effect of corrupting the transaction log file. So now the whole database will not allow the users to run any transactions against it. The whole database, all these tables will not allow users to perform any transactions because the log file itself is got corrupted. This is the first step. Now first step we discussed in the first step, it will record things in a transaction log file. So that is what here it is the problem, guys. And the solution is, what is the solution in this case? Now the data file got corrupted. One of the data file got corrupted. What is the solution now? So we have to restore the best backup file. We have to restore. We have to take the recent full backup, right? That is on a last Friday at 10 p.m. So today is Monday. Today is Monday. So this is today morning at 10 p.m. It is got corrupted. 10 a.m. it is got corrupted. Now the time is 11:17 a.m. After 10 a.m. we don't have any backups. We don't have full and we don't have differential backups. And transaction log backups also you can't take, guys. Transaction log backup also, when the files got corrupted, transaction log backups will not support. It will not allow us to take. Okay. So choose the latest and recent full backup and choose the latest recent differential backup. So now here choose all the transaction log backups up to as of on whatever the backups we have so far. At today morning at 10 a.m. this is a D drive, this is a D file, the drive, the file on the D drive. This is one of the NDF file got corrupted. So now I want my customers, they are having the concern, they can't do any operations on this table. Then what we need to do, we have to again restore this database from the good backups. It is corrupted at morning 10 a.m. So after 10 a.m. some other customers did some transactions on this C drive on this on other tables. Other customers did the transactions on other tables. In these tables the transactions are ran fine. So now here, without missing these two transactions, I want restore. So that we are going to finally take the TimeLock Backup. That is what. So now here, when the files got corrupted, we are going to take a TimeLock Backup, guys. When the transaction log files got corrupted or data files got corrupted, we are going to take TimeLock Backups. Why? Because the TimeLock Backups will allow us, while taking the log backup, this is also just like log backup only, but TimeLock Backup will not allow the people to access other tables also. The whole database we are going to make into non-accessible state. That is what recovery state. That is what restoring state. This TimeLock Backup, what it will do, guys? This TimeLock Backup will make this whole database is not accessible by other customers also, because we are going to restoring the database. While taking log backup, guys, while taking TimeLock Backup, this whole database will go into non-accessible state. While taking TimeLock Backup, backup only it will do these things. Okay. So now while taking this, so finally take the TimeLock Backup before start the actual restoration. Before you decide to restore, so now we have the full backup and we have one differential and we have some transaction log backups to restore. Before start this actual restoration, we are going to take finally TimeLock Backup. This TimeLock Backup, what it will do, it will make this entire database is a non-accessible state, and this TimeLock Backup will take all the transactions whatever is done after this file got corrupted. So those transactions are done by other tables, those transactions we are taking by using this TimeLock Backup. Okay, so first restore full backup with no recovery, restore differential backup with no recovery, and restore all transaction log backups with no recovery, and finally we have to restore that TimeLock Backup with the recovery. TimeLock Backup is nothing but a log backup only, but we are going to use two options. While taking transaction log backup, TimeLock Backup also is just like a backup, and we are going to use two options. See that. So now this is also just like a transaction log backup. Let me take this database. Okay, and now I am going to take this path, guys, DB backups. So now I have the full backup and I have the one transaction log backup, and I am going to take TimeLock backup now for this database. Let's see what will happen. So we have to use these two options with no truncate and the recovery options. So because of these two truncates, if you say no recovery, while taking this log backup, as soon as this log backup is completed, and this whole database will go on a restoring state. That means none of the users can access that database. With no underscore truncate means it will not going to remove, it will not apply the checkpoint, as well as it will not truncate any transaction statements from the log file. It will not touch them. So that is what here. So now here you see, usually when we are taking the normal log backups, this guys. Just 1 minute. So we saw that, right? Just now we saw that. Come on. When we are taking the log backup, what is happening? First it will apply checkpoint and then copy the committed and the uncommitted transaction statements from the transaction log files, and then what it will do? It will truncate all committed transactions. But here in this case, it will not apply checkpoint, and as well as it will not truncate the committed transactions. It will take simple, it will copy transactions from the file, and at the same time it will make the database, no recovery represents, make the database non-recoverable state. So that means restoring state, non-operational state. So backup cannot process because it is in use by the session. So now it is saying that already someone is using this database. Let me connect to the master. So now TimeLock Backup is started. Let's see that. It's going on. TimeLock Backup is going on. Because now it is gone, because I am going to connect into master database first, and then I will use. It is good practice if you connect to master database and then you can use this one. See, somebody is connected to that database, that's why I am unable to take TimeLock Backup. So what I am going to do that, let me kill that sessions. Let me check it out who is connected to that database, sp_who2, and let me check it out who is connected. Okay, one guy is connected. This is a 54, session 54. Kill that session 54. So now let's execute. So now log backup, TimeLock Backup is done. TimeLock Backup is done. So now my database is showing restoring state. So how do you say this is TimeLock Backup? If you use these two options, then it will become TimeLock Backup. That's it. So when, in which case we are going to take the TimeLock backups? When there are the files got corrupted, and I want to take my final backup, because I am going to restore this database by using recent full backups, recent differential, and recent all transaction log backups. So that in that case I am going to take TimeLock backups, because I don't want to miss any transactions. Finally, my database got corrupted today morning 6 o'clock, guys. One of the file got corrupted. Just assume, guys, one of the file got corrupted today morning at 6 o'clock. How it will take before correction? Because see, TimeLock Backup is normal log backup. Whatever is there in this log backup, it will take. Okay, so that means if log is corrupted, you can't. First of all, you can't run any transaction. There is no need to take a TimeLock Backup. When the log file got corrupted, it will not store any transactions. You got my point? All those transactions we are going to lose. We are going to lose those transactions. That is the problem. When the log file got corrupted, so there is, we can't take any transaction log backups. You got my point, no? So this TimeLock backup we are going to take all the time before we start restoring the database. For safety purpose, to do not miss any transactions, we are going to take TimeLock backup. What mirror backup? Mirror backup I don't think. Mirror backup is the separate copy of backup, na? One more copy of backup. Yeah, that is also the scenarios. Yes, yeah. Okay, so now this is how we can take TimeLock backup. Once we take the TimeLock backup, we can start restoring all these backups one after another. So now I am going to restore all these whatever backups I have, full backup, log backup and TimeLock backup. All these three backups I can restore. Now DB files, DB backups, all these three backups I am going to restore. Full backup, this is log 1 and log 2 is the TimeLock backup. I am going to restore all that, and it will restore all these backups one after another. So this one and this one. See now it is showing up TimeLock backup. It is showing that it is like a copy only backup. It is similar to copy only, right? But the only thing is the TimeLock backup is going to make our database non-operational state. But copy only backup will not make this data. See, non-operational means restoring state. Okay, so now this is my database tree, and what is this? Just 1 minute. That's where the problem will come. We have to restore those. Let me restore full backup. That's the problem. D drive, DB files, DB backups, full backup. I'm going to say that here, replace restore with no recovery. So because after this full backup I want to restore my log backup and then TimeLock backup. So log backups you can do it from here. So from device, click this one and add button and go to the D drive, DB files, DB backups, and let's select these two log files. Sorry, these two. I say okay. It is saying that first log 2 is formatted to support one media family, but two media families are expected to back up. Let me do that one by one after another. I think I did something wrong while taking these backups. I am not sure after that log backup. DB files, DB backups and log 1. Let me restore this log 1. I think this is not in a proper order. That's why it is showing. I am going to say restore with no recovery because I want to restore that TimeLock also. So I restored that whole log backup. Now I am going to restore TimeLock backup. Let me see. Task, restore, transaction log, from device, click this one, and the D drive, DB files, DB backups, and this is what the TimeLock backup. Select the TimeLock and say OK. And let's say recovery. Say OK, recovery. So it is saying that some transactions are missing. I did something wrong in this database because it will work, but I did something wrong while taking these backups. Let me try it one more time. Let me try. Just give me a minute. So TimeLock backups. So I am going to recover this database completely. Just recover this database. So this is a TailLog backup. What I can do, I will take full backup first, okay, and then I will take TailLog backup, because something went wrong with that backup. Somewhere some changes are missed. That's the reason it is having this issue. But it will work. Definitely it will work. Backup database install spiders, because I did some wrong with these changes. This, let me take this one. Okay, let's say full one. Jump back, and now I will take the backup of this database without normal log backup. I am going to take normal log backup. I will say this is just log 1, TimeLog, just log 1, and log 2, this is a TimeLog. Okay, let me execute these 3. Let me delete those backups. I don't need these backups anyway. Or else let me create one new folder. Inside this folder I will put these backups. Cancel this. So now here inside that new folder I created new folder here. Over there I will put all these backups. And let me take these backups. So now I am going to take full backup first, and then log backup, normal log backup, and then TimeLog backup. After taking these backups, now I see that the database is showing restore. Let's do this time. I am going to restore all these backups one after another. Right click, restore the database, device, add, D drive, DB files, DB backups, and new folder. Let's select all these and say OK. And all these files will be restored one after another. First full backup, and then normal transaction log, and then TimeLog. This is what the TimeLog backup. So when I am going to restore, I am going to say with replace, restore with no recovery, and say OK. So all these backups are restored. See, all these backups are restored, and say OK. And still it is in a restoring state. I have to say, I have to recover this database by using this query, restore database with the recovery. Say that now my database will be back to the normal state. See that now we restored full backup, and then normal backup, normal log backups, and then TimeLog backup. We did this because earlier I did some mistakes with that missing, something is missing, so that's why it was not restored earlier. This time it is done. So this is how we can take the TimeLog backup, and this is the reasons when the backup, when the database files got corrupted, we may not be, some of the customers will get affected, they can't access the database tables, so we have to recover the database by using the backups. So when we are going to restore the backups, there is a chances to lose some transactions. So that's why we are going to take TimeLog backup as the last log backup to do not miss any transactions. So that's what here, and tomorrow we done these backups and restores, and the next session we will talk more and more about the securities, how to, that's all related to security, how to grant access, and some kind of security concepts are there. We'll discuss all that.